Talk with Rio. Man, we hit the sports stuff all the time. Real talk, we don't even mess around. I ain't got no reason to lie to you. Man, what you say? Man, it's real, dog.
Hey, what you doing? You know this is fire. Subscribe. Go ahead and hit that like button. And after that, make sure you hit the notification bell. You know it.
Let me break it down right quick for my haters, my dictators and bad raiders. Since you never seem to get it right no more, then right no more. Kick back your feet and watch your back from perpetrators. My game's strong and my range roll.
Yo, what up? This is Rio De Niro, and welcome back to Real Talk with Rio. And you know what we doing. We breaking down The Last Dance. You know, I got my brother Big Ralph, P Mega in the house once again.
Sir.
And we're about to hit up this episode 7 and 8. We're about to break it down, man. What's up, P? What's up?
All right. First of all, man, about Krauss saying about there's no backstabbing going on players and coaches between that and the management. How you guys feel about that? You think Krauss was telling the truth, or was he just playing politics?
I think it kind of hit a nerve because, I mean, if it wasn't a big deal, why didn't he just answer the question and then go on to the next question? But I know the media they were drilling him hard, so he got upset and he just ended the press conference and walked out.
Right.
I was like, wow. I mean, he was pretty heated. So
Yeah, I think that Krauss was really heated and irritated because he was doing the backstabbing. Krauss has been doing that from day one. It hasn't changed, and I think that he has that little man complex, and it's pretty bad. And when there's smoke, there's fire. So I definitely think that he was definitely backstabbing. So that's 100%. I mean, we already know. That's
so does him walking out on that press conference, did that confirm that?
For me,
well, I mean, was that a guilt trip? Like, you're trying to avoid, you know what I'm saying? Like exposing yourself.
Exactly. He didn't want to elaborate on that anymore.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, y'all got me, but I'm
gonna
shut it down.
Like, I'm just gonna walk away. That's how it is sometimes, man. When people are real guilty and you're in a conversation, if you ever notice you get into a conversation with somebody heated, if they got you, sometimes you're like, you know what, just forget it. And you walk away because you're stuck. Right. See, if you got a point, you're going to keep battling. And then you're going to keep going back and forth. And sometimes people say, oh, when you're guilty, that's what you do. Nah, it's like when you're innocent, you see somebody, they battle more. When somebody guilty, you see they kind of give up early and just and retreat. So in that situation, I think Krauss was like 100% guilty.
Yeah, I agree, man. There was times where, I don't know if you remember when Scotty Piven had mentioned that Krauss take care of the white players better than he do the black players.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, he said that before. If you see how he was trying to take care of Kukos,
right?
He favored Dan Marley. I mean,
right.
It was just things like that he had mentioned at that time that he was pointing out about Krauss. And I mean, look, basically Jordan and Pippen had a slave deal, and look all the work they put in, just for the organization and the NBA. I mean, they made the NBA even more exciting in the 90s. They raised the bar, and things like that. So I remember that being mentioned before.
Yeah. I never heard of it, but yeah. I could see where that could be an issue for sure.
Yeah,
I could definitely see it.
Yeah. So they talked about the playoffs, the first round, game 1, Chicago versus the Nets. Jordan said they had to be asleep for them to lose to the Nets, to lose the game.
That bad.
But they won. They won game 1. 96-93.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty win.
For the Nets, man, they had nothing to lose. Just do your best. You know what I mean? It's like good practice. You know, you guys made the playoffs, but you know you're not projected to go that far. You're playing against the champs. Well, I mean, what could you do? You know,
you can't do much. You just hope to get out alive. you know, and but I think that you know, when I watched episode 7, to be honest with you, it was real tough for me to even concentrate on anything else going on other than the main meat of episode 7.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, Jordan's dad.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that changed everything. That changed everything.
Yeah.
And just the way that it went down and everything. I mean, we all know about him falling asleep and them coming and you know, whoever came and tried to rob him, and he, you know, killed him. But what's bigger than anything is that, and I feel guilty. I'm not gonna lie, I feel guilty. When I first heard of it back in the days, there was that rumor, and there was no internet, there was no social media. There was the rumor of, well, the reason why Jordan's dad was killed was because of Jordan's gambling debt. Like he owed money or something like that, and that stuck with me forever. And I felt like that was probably true. But now that I'm watching the documentary, I feel bad for thinking that way, because everybody was thinking that way, and he was even asked that question. And imagine if you're dealing with your dad's. You know, your dad passes away and you're trying to grieve, but people are asking you disrespectful questions like that. And imagine if it is like 100% not true. But
right, give it a grace period. Give me a grace period till you ask me those things.
Not even a grace period. Right. Just respect all. If you don't have no evidence.
Yeah.
No evidence.
Right.
Don't do
it's
it.
All speculation.
It's all speculation. It's disrespectful, man, and you got to think about it. It was a weird feeling for me as well, because the whole thing was weird. How he died. It was random, right?
Supposed to be
it felt
random.
I'm saying what I'm saying is it was so random that it felt weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. And it took so long to find the body. He was missing for so long, and
it
was like, I mean, you can come up with all kind of scenarios, you know.
Right. And in the beginning, you don't think nothing bad till it hit that he was murdered. And you know, they had the question on, was it like the gambling thing? Was it a sacrifice, or was just a plain robbery? You know,
sacrifice. What are you talking about?
They I mean, you know, people
almost like a payback, huh?
Well,
something like that.
You know,
you talk about like Illuminati type thing,
or some things like that. I mean, I heard people, you know, throw that out there.
Okay,
you know,
I never heard
that. And or you know, they said they got the people who did the robbery. It was some 18-year-old kids,
right?
And you know, could have been them doing that, or could have been, like you said, the gambling. They sent somebody that could have been the sacrifice thing. You know, with the gambling thing, it's like, how deep of a gambling debt? If it was supposedly Jordan, even his dad, how deep of a debt? Could it be money-wise? Could it be
maybe,
for you to get murdered?
Right.
So maybe his dad has some gambling debts. Right. Maybe his dad has some gambling debts that he wasn't paying for whatever reason.
Okay. But I'm pretty sure Jordan would take care of that.
Right.
But did his dad didn't tell him?
Maybe he didn't know.
Right.
Who knows? I mean, we can speculate on all kinds of stuff.
I mean, for as far as we know, Michael Jordan and his dad, man. I mean, his dad was like his right-hand man.
He was. You
wouldn't even see his siblings in the picture. You wouldn't see his wife in the picture. You would see his dad.
Yep.
And his dad is the one who, you know, give him that. It's that angel on the shoulder and say, you know, You want to do baseball, go ahead. You want to do this, you want to retire, go ahead. You want to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that if anything, his dad could talk to him about anything, especially if it's money wise. Yo, son, man, I'm in the bind.
So let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here, I want to ask both of you guys a question, and then let's just be straightforward and be real. All right. So, P, do you think it was a random act? And if you don't think it was a random act, what is your gut telling you the reason why he was killed?
You know, it's a tough question because you got to weigh it out. Being away, whatever miles it was from the house, that you got to stop, take a quick 10 or something. Usually, you know, we've been on road trips when we was mad tired.
It was.
I rolled down the window, blast the music, call somebody, hey, conversate with me, you know, and things like that. So,
and why was he driving?
Right, you know, him driving.
Why didn't he fly?
He went golfing somewhere, right?
You know, I don't know.
Then on the way back, I guess that's maybe when it happened.
You know, if that really happened.
No, but what's your thoughts though? I need to know, like, your gut feeling right now after watching the documentary, after the history that you know, like when you first heard about it. Weigh both thoughts together, and right now your feeling is what?
You know, I think he probably got followed, man.
That's I like that scenario. I think he might have got followed as well, and
you got to think, man. All eyes on you.
They might have held him up for a couple of days, try to get, you know.
Hey, man,
squeeze money out of him, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I remember times, you know, people saying how people get followed from the casino.
Oh no,
you know what I'm saying?
I know. So, it happens all the time.
Good point.
Imagine Michael Jordan's dad is not rolling with bodyguards.
Right.
When you see him, you already know, man, that's Jordan's dad.
So okay,
no matter how humble he dressed.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, see, so that brings me back to the question. So do you think it was random? Because if you say you think they recognized him, then it was not random.
Right.
Right? They knew that was Jordan's dad. Okay, let's get him. But the way they make it sound is like it was random. Right?
Right.
Yeah. How about you, Rob? How did you right now? What's your gut feel?
I'm still trying to remember the suspects or the two teenagers you say followed that they arrested. What was the outcome of that? What did they say? I don't remember the details about that. I mean, that would say a lot.
Yeah.
Give us more info, you know, on what happened.
Unfortunately, man, that was during the non-information era.
Okay,
and it's
so
like, it's hard, man. I don't even remember. We would have to check it out and things like that. But
they never showed it in the episode.
Yeah,
which is weird. They never showed like the people that did it. They never showed them being arrested. They didn't show like them confessing. They didn't show any of that. Which I don't know. I don't know. So Ralph,
I think like Paul was saying that they might have, you know, followed him and set him up, or you know, from where he was at. I guess he went to play golf.
So you don't think it was random?
And another scenario where he took the nap, wherever he made that stop, could have been other people there driving a nice car, you know, and maybe they saw that and saw him sleep and took advantage of that, you know. I don't know. It's hard to say, man.
It's hard to say because it's because, you know, it just take one slip up.
That's all it takes
to change. Just like somebody have, you know, one bad drug, you know, experience. Somebody could do one drug 20 times. That one person could do it one time and die off of it. You know what I'm saying? So it takes that one bad move.
What I'm saying is that I believe, my gut is that this was not random. I believe that I don't think it was a gambling debt. Because P made a great point when he said, how big of a gambling debt would it have to be in order to kill Jordan's dad, right? Yeah. So let's think about this. I don't think it was a gambling debt. I think it could have been bigger than this, maybe mafia or something where they wanted to take out a big piece of Jordan's heart to get him out of the league. They knew that this would cause his retirement, and then they could go ahead and hedge their bets towards the other teams that could possibly win or make some money in other ways. Maybe Jordan was holding them back from making money. I think that this was like a planned hit without going after Jordan directly, but going after his heart to take him away from the game. They knew there's no way Jordan was going to come back.
I can understand that because, excuse me, maybe who knows, man? And not saying Jordan did this or that. We just talking,
And I'm not talking Jordan did anything.
Yeah,
I'm saying that somebody. I'm just saying somebody was out to want to take him out of the game.
So basically, Jordan had nothing to do with it.
I say Jordan had nothing to do with it. Okay. I'm saying that somebody was like, we got to get this dude out the league, and the best way to get him out without touching him is to take out somebody that's close to him that'll get his whole mind out the league.
And now what if let's play this what if game. What if Mafia dudes told Jordan, man, hey, make sure the score is this and that, and then he didn't want to do it.
So
they were trying to get him the point shave.
So maybe so he's still innocent, but he had nothing to do with it. But he can't report it because if he does, then his family, more of his family gets killed.
See, that's the thing. We can speculate on all kind of things.
My whole point in this matter is that I don't think it was random.
Okay.
I don't think there's any way possible. I don't feel like it was random, dude.
It's crazy, man. It was something sad, man, and of course we don't like to see somebody passing, and family members.
Bottom line, it was a big blow to Jordan. You saw how he broke down talking about it. He mentioned his dad was a great mentor to him. He was a hero, close friend,
everything.
I mean, look how Jordan's
life. So
right.
All that just went away just like that.
Look how when they talked about when Jordan was a kid, he was getting in trouble, suspended and things like that.
Right.
And his dad said, "Hey, look, man, you keep getting in trouble, you ain't gonna do no sports."
Right.
And Jordan got his act together. Yeah.
Exactly.
That was his dad played a big part in him, man. That was very important because
he was one of the only, man. He was like it was a rare situation where you saw, for a black man to see a dad always in the picture during back in those days and stuff. It was always the mom, and it was great. It was great to see that. And my biggest thing is that my biggest takeaway from this is I 100% believe that Jordan had nothing to do with it. And I feel like back in the days, I thought he did. And I didn't think he did it. I thought something he did caused it. But now I feel like there's nothing that he did that caused it. It was whoever did it was trying to cause pain towards him. If he did anything like a gambling debt or anything that caused a problem, I don't think that Jordan would ever return to the NBA.
Right.
Because he would be so devastated.
And it was his fault.
That it was his fault. And the way that he was grieving was a person that was just grieving a loss. Like, man, I wish my dad was here. Like when he won that championship and all that. It was different. It's not a guilty grieve. It's not an embarrassment. I don't want to be shown in public. Like, as close as they were, if he had any involvement or he thought that anything he did caused his dad to be killed, trust me, Jordan wouldn't even be seen.
Yeah,
because
and his mom.
sorry.
Yeah, his mom kind of felt like it was an accident.
Right.
Wrong place at the wrong time. Wrong place at the wrong time type of incident.
Take that one slip up, man.
So yeah,
You could see the pain in Jordan's face, man. Still today, like
no, Jordan, he was crying. He was crying during the thing.
He was holding,
Well, P, I think the thing that made him upset the most was they were trying to connect his gambling to his father's death.
Right.
And that really hurt him, for the media and everybody else writing about it,
They was trying to make a story out of it.
There was no evidence at all that it was, any type of connection at all.
And Jordan said, he felt like people was tired of him being on top.
Yeah,
right. They was trying everything to tear him down, man. It's like the gift and the curse, man.
It is.
People try to tear you down all the time, man. So now look, MJ retires, and at a White Sox game, right? He threw the first pitch. He's at the box, up there.
Yep.
And he makes this announcement out of nowhere. That was relayed to Jerry Krauss, right? Like, yo, Jordan's gonna retire. So he's letting all the inside people know.
Right.
And now it's official.
Yeah, he calls it quit. And
he calls it quit.
I remember exactly where I was when that first happened. I was when I heard it, and I remember how devastated I was because my room, I don't know if you remember, man. My room was just full of basketball posters and Jordan, Dominique, and all that, but a lot of Jordan, right?
Yeah.
And you remember when he retired, I made like a mural and put in my room with newspaper clippings and of him walking away and all that stuff. Put that all on my wall. Like, I'm like, man, he's gone. And I was like, it was messed up, dude. And I was like, dang. And those 2 years of basketball when he was gone, or 1.5 years, that was like, I don't even remember really watching basketball that much. The Rockets and all that. I was like, what? Like, this don't even seem right. I was trying to watch the Bulls. We were watching the Bulls and stuff like that. But it's just, it was different, man.
It was definitely a big blow to the NBA period.
Yeah, it was a big
Jordan,
blow, man.
You remember how the media went crazy?
Oh yeah, they went crazy
at the press conference. I mean, it was like everybody was running around, trying to figure out what was going on.
It was like, and the teammates, it just looked like it was a dark day, man. It was there was attending a funeral or something, man.
Right.
It was, man.
Also, man, Jordan said he wanted to win this 3 in a row and then retire to play baseball. He was telling somebody, and
he told his dad.
Yeah, and his dad said, "Do it, man."
Yeah.
But during the Olympics, he was saying to somebody, "Yeah, I want to win this 3 in a row, and then retire and play. I want to shock the world by retiring playing baseball and things like that." And because of the Pistons didn't do the three-peat, Magic Johnson Lakers didn't do the three-peat. I don't know if it was the Celtics that didn't do the three-peat yet. So yeah, man, and how'd you feel about that, Ralph? Like, Reinsdorf was still paying MJ that basketball money while he was in the minor leagues because he felt like Jordan was underpaid while he was playing in the NBA.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
That's a good one. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was giving them about $3 million a year.
He was dropping some jewels.
Yeah. He was giving them a check. He mentioned that, and You know, imagine. That's what I'm talking about when in the previous episode of when we was talking about Pippen's contract.
Yeah, you saying that as an
As
owner,
the- as-
he
as the
should have
owner,
just stepped up and did it.
If you felt was wrong as an owner, you the owner,
Right.
man. You override everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could-
and then if you did that, the
It's
loyalty from your player would be tremendous. If you,
I agree with
if you
that.
did
I
that.
definitely
It makes sense. It makes sense. I could
Yeah.
see that point.
All right, so now Jordan decides to play baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him saying he played baseball back in high school, like when he was like 17 years old.
Yeah.
Back
Even
then,
when he
man.
was younger, even
younger, he was a
Yeah, I
decent
think
baseball. I think that was his
he
first
released.
love, actually.
Yeah,
Wasn't that his
he-
first love?
That was his
baseball?
first love. Yep.
Yeah.
So he had some game, you know. But now he decides to go back to baseball. I'm like, what is he thinking? You know, baseball,
Yeah.
really, right now?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I still almost bought.
Nah,
I almost bought a White Sox jersey though.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think that was a great move, you know. But he did okay. I mean, he did okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is Jordan. This is what he want to do. As a fan, we get kind of selfish, you know what I mean?
Right.
And things. That's the part of being a fan. But Jordan in the minors, having doubters, even Sports Illustrated shitted on him, and he never wanted to do an interview with him
that was
again,
that was
you know?
major. Sports Illustrated, man,
you know.
stop.
You know, yeah, man.
But it goes to show you how much he still wanted to be out there, whether it
Yeah.
was basketball or something else, you know.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
jumped into baseball to keep
And I didn't care about baseball.
motivated.
I didn't care for baseball, but just because Jordan was doing it, I started to pay more attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's how much of an influence he is.
And you see how he was selling out all the
He was
everywhere
killing
he
it.
went, he was selling out like crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's also the pressure of being Michael Jordan that you jump into another sport, people automatically gonna think you're gonna flourish that fast.
right, they automatically gonna follow.
You know, he had a slow start, but as you can see, he worked hard, man. He worked hard. He kept
Right.
working on. He didn't just come in. Oh, I'm Michael Jordan. Yeah, just throw
Right.
me a pitch. He worked hard. He changed his whole body regimen on the workout. You know,
He had a 14 hit streak.
yeah, his streak. Yeah.
Yeah, and but that's because people weren't really giving him they was giving him more meat in the beginning, just being nice to him, and then they switched it up.
Little lob pitch.
Yeah. Here you go.
There you go, Mike.
Yeah.
it's like, man, I'm pitching the mic.
Yeah, give me
Yeah,
an autograph
you know.
after this. I thought you were
Yeah.
a slow pitch. You know.
Yeah, but hey, one thing I like, one thing that put a smile on my face is that he wasn't Hollywood toward his teammates.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was
I mean,
down to earth.
He was basically playing with some scrub. Nobody's.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, but he was
You know
looking
what I
to
mean?
them like,
And
teach
he's-
me.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
over there joking with him, playing ping pong. Like he was involved with him. He wasn't isolated. You know what I'm saying? He came in there involved in everything, man. He didn't look at it like, nah, y'all beneath me. I'm Michael Jordan. Y'all fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's a lot of people
That was
that
a
would do it
good
like
thing.
that.
yeah,
It
that
was.
was a good thing.
So he couldn't talk to him like he was doing with his teammates, which got
No, he
the Bulls.
couldn't.
He couldn't. He couldn't go there
It
like that.
was different.
So it was different. Yeah.
And one last piece on the baseball is that I didn't realize that the workout for baseball is so different than basketball, that it could change your body and everything, where you wouldn't be in shape he wasn't in baseball shape, he was in basketball shape.
Right.
So now he had to get in baseball shape, and that took him out of basketball shape. That was crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So let's move on, man. Let's talk about how MJ was on Scottie Burrell, man. Scott Burrell.
Ooh, he was on him tough.
He was on the tough,
Practice.
man.
I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I don't know how Burrell took all that
But he did.
Yeah.
But he did.
verbal abuse, you know.
Yeah,
like,
but he was a soldier. I think. Even Scott Burrell felt like it made him stronger.
But he was preparing them for game time. That's what
Yeah.
he was saying. A lot of times when he did that with his teammates, it was mainly to prepare for game time situations, you know. And it did help a lot of the teammates.
Yeah, he took care of business. I commended him for being able to handle it. Jordan said he tried and tried, but he's like,
He
Scott
never got
Burrell-
pissed
He
off.
said Scott
never
Burrell is
won
just
a fight.
he said he's such a nice guy that he couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he never. And then him being hard on his teammates, man, and Jordan. It was like boot camp playing with Jordan, man.
Of course.
It was tough.
you go to another team and it's a whole different thing, you know.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of players could play with him with that attitude. I don't know. You
Yeah.
either gotta, you gotta give in to it, or
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, hey, you gotta trade me.
Yeah,
Enough.
Yeah, you think you'd be able to hang, man, if y'all was in that team and playing with Jordan? You think you could take it, man?
And with Jordan, I'd be like, man, just get the championships, man. I go for the ride. Forget it.
Would you ask for a trade, man?
I wouldn't ask for no trade. I would be there.
No, because
I'll do whatever I
it's
can to
tough.
stay on the team.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I can, because you with Jordan, man. Come on,
Yeah.
you gotta go for the ride.
Because if you don't hang, man, it's like, dude, you couldn't, that's the elite, man. You can't hang with Jordan, man. Like, you wanted an easier route to come into our team.
No. Like you said, you need somebody like that to push you,
Yeah, man. So,
make you better. So, yeah.
So now it's no MJ.
None.
It's Scotty running the show.
It's the Pippen show. Pip show.
Yep.
He's more comforting.
Yep. The teammates.
He's more nurturing.
Right.
Teammates loving him. And like Scotty, that's our dude. He's here. He gives us the hugs, pep talks. You know what I'm saying? He tuck us in before we go to sleep, reads a bedtime story, all that. Jordan was the boogeyman.
Right.
Scottie Piven was tucking you in.
He's cooking breakfast,
Yeah.
The triangle offense was, people were saying, without no Jordan, like Chuck Daly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were running that triangle offense.
Chuck Daly, like, let's see how good that triangle offense is without Jordan.
Right.
They was running it, man.
They said that was Phil's best coaching year.
Yeah.
So,
So, and Kukoc stepped up.
Yeah, his game. What do you feel about his game, man? I just thought, for me at that time, it was still a big man's game. I just thought Kukoc was just too tall not to have no inside moves, but he was, he had a good outside game, good passing skills, you know what I mean? Like he good ball handling. So after in the playoffs, before we real quick, what did that say to you about Scotty's game? That Scotty, man, like, Jordan out and Scotty just, taking the Bulls to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, a game away from the championship.
Right. I mean, he was having an MVP year,
MVP year, man. That says a lot, man.
It says a lot. Yeah, he could have. It shows you, if he would have been with another team, who knows? He could have done some serious damage with any other team.
Well,
man,
that
said a lot.
Well, I think that Pippen was definitely tested when MJ was gone. I think we're about to elaborate on that.
Yeah. So now they in the playoffs. They sweep Cleveland. Now it's the Knicks. Okay, you go to the Knicks. They lose 2-0. Okay.
All right.
And they in Chicago. Ewing hits a shot with about 1.8 left, ties the game.
Right.
If they go to overtime, Knicks could try to pull it out and make it 3-0.
Right.
They call a timeout. Pippen feel like, all right, the ball gonna go in my hand.
Scotty time. That's like,
Scotty time.
This used to be MJ time. Now Scotty time.
No doubt. He felt that he was
my time to shine. So come on, Scotty. I mean, come on, Phil. Tell me what we about to do.
And Phil, based on Kukoc's hitting last second shots during the season, the fact he got that height advantage is automatic mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
That he said, all right, it's going to go to Kukoc because we could do a play where he just hits the fadeaway. Okay, so when y'all seen that, as Washington as fans, seeing that Scotty sat out, and then how do you feel about that? And then how would you feel as Scottie Pippen?
That was a tough one, because Pippen, like you said, he was insulted by that move Phil made to have Kukoc take the last shot. And I probably would have felt the same way too. I mean, here I am, I'm the main guy, right? And you're going to choose somebody else to take the last shot. Anytime you need to take a last shot, you got to go with your main player, right? So I don't know if I would have set out like him. Like, you know, that was a tough decision. I mean, to me, it was a little bit selfish on his part, but at that time, you got to understand, you know, his mind frame at that time.
To me, this is an easy decision. Scotty was 100% wrong, because
I definitely agree he was wrong.
Yeah, he was 100% wrong. It wasn't even a tough decision. Your coach laid out a plan. Sometimes you want to get away from the obvious as well. Everybody's expecting Pippen to be the one, right? So they might set up the play for Pippen. But if you're doing Kukoc, they weren't ready for Kukoc. So here's the thing too. If they got Scotty in the game inbounding, he did that on purpose, because then that could throw a decoy
exactly
for the defense, right? So with him sitting down, it's like he was like, I'm not even going to help you with your plan. So now, think about it. They're like, the other team is like, well, Scotty's not in, so obviously it's going to go to Kukoc.
Okay, I got a question for you guys. What if Jordan was in the game? Do you think Phil would have drew a play for Kukoc to take the last shot? Use Michael as a decoy? Think about that.
It would have been. They would have gave.
If that was the case, if he did
I think that
Kukoc
they would
take the last shot, would Jordan be upset?
I think the play would have been for Jordan, but they would have had an alternative just in case he was double teamed to pass to Kukoc or somebody else.
Remember, it's 1.8 seconds left.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's got to be a catch and shoot type of. You know.
It's either catch shoot, or when you catch
one
you
dribble,
got one pass to make.
Yeah.
One pass,
I think they would have drew it up for Jordan.
Hey, but you know, I'm gonna get real technical. If Jordan was in the game, they wouldn't have been in that situation.
But you never know. But what if?
No, he's right.
My question is.
What if he was? What if it was?
But what if he was? You know, that's all.
Yeah. Do you think Jordan had the same attitude? He might not sit out. He probably wouldn't sit out the game like Pippen did.
No, he would never do that.
But he would definitely been upset.
Jordan would never sat out the game. Come on.
I think Kukoc would have been the inbound passer, and because he's a good passer, and they would have set it up to Jordan would have did a fadeaway on somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you know you could have, you would do the thing where they do the delay of game.
Right.
But then illegal defense, they couldn't double on Jordan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Jordan would have to get the ball, then they would have to hurry up and double team. By then, Jordan's in the air shooting that fadeaway.
Yeah. So Cartwright was trying to talk to him on the bench, was like, come on, Pippen, man.
Right.
You got to get in the game. We need you. You know? And Pippen was like, man, I'm not trying to hear that, you know.
Yep.
He was just, you know, and I like the way Cartwright, you know, of course, you guys know about the speech he did after the game. You know, told Pippen how he was wrong, and
he needed to do that. That was good.
Before we even get to that part, though.
Okay.
Could you imagine how Pippen felt? Look at how Phil Jackson felt after Kukoc made that shot. Phil was like, he couldn't even be happy. He was just like, man, I told you, I knew what I was doing. Right. And Pippen and Phil Jackson couldn't even get excited.
Right.
And everybody else was going crazy. Kukoc was like, yeah, you know, King Kong ain't got nothing on me. You know, he was ready. But Phil Jackson and Pippen, they had two different reasons why they couldn't get excited. Because
let me ask you this. Crazy. Do you think Phil should have done some kind of punishment or something to Pippen? Or
nah, man, he got punished enough.
No, I mean, going
I mean, he hurt himself, but I'm saying from a coach, you know, player incident type.
No, see, when you do that, that's mean that Pippen could do it again. And it's like they went to the locker room and Cartwright did the right thing, man.
Yeah, he did.
And it really hurt him. They got teary-eyed. Pippen felt it, and Pippen, apologized, and Pippen, stepped up from there. Yeah. But now, what killed me is Pippen said if it was to happen again,
he'd probably do the same thing.
Do the same thing,
and that was messed up because
he wasn't sorry about it. So.
No, because he was sorry afterwards. But if it was to happen again,
Now this is what I want to talk about. Let's move to the next thing.
Okay.
Pippen's dunk on Ewing.
Oh, so. That was. Let's wait. Let's
all-time.
Let's look at that dunk real quick. So we look at it, and it's just nasty. Like he didn't have to do that to him. Why, Pippen? Why did you do that?
And then stood over him.
Yes,
stood over.
That's disrespectful.
And looked down on him.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. He don't say anything. He just stood over and looked down on him.
Man,
it kind of reminded me when LeBron did that to Draymond Green that one time. Just walk right over him. Remember that?
Yeah, that was disrespectful.
Yeah, well, that's what they say, but I don't think.
And that's why he got kicked. That's why he got kicked. That's why he got kicked in the nuts. That's why he got kicked in the nuts. And we don't want to talk about that because that's the whole stimulus package. That's all that. Okay.
Anyway, let's move on. Yeah.
But where would you rank that as the all-time poster list?
Oh man,
it's up there, top 10.
Hey, come on, man.
Because
you ain't got shitted on twice, man. Badly by Jordan and by
Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
It was nasty, man. I was like, we went crazy. I know that. We lost our mind.
Yeah,
we lost our mind. At that moment when that happened, I felt, hey, the Bulls might pull this off.
Right.
So do you think when the Knicks won Game 7 and Jordan is watching, what was going through Jordan's mind?
Oh, he was thinking, man, I wish I was there.
But he didn't say that. He said He said, I don't have an itch to come back and all this stuff.
Yeah, come on.
But Jordan playing politician, man.
In the back of my mind, it's like, man, if I was there, we would have beat the Knicks.
Yeah.
We would have moved on and went to the championship.
But he's like, nah, I think he's like, I want to come back, man. Knicks think they the shit because they beat him, man. Nah, man. Nah, I gotta come back, man. So now we go back to the Bulls sweeping the Nets, okay? BJ Armstrong said Jordan, he couldn't be no nice guy, man, because who he is. He couldn't be a nice guy. He had to be hardcore. He had to be diligent, and he had to be an asshole. Like, do you think that was what Jordan had to be? I mean, look at somebody like Ralph's man, LeBron. LeBron is not that person.
Yeah, he had to be like that, man. Because I felt like just being soft is, when you talk about making your teammates better, he had to be like that. Because if you're too soft, the players are not gonna be ready to take care of business. And I think that if Jordan wasn't hard on his players, he wouldn't have got the results that we saw.
Yeah,
I really believe it was necessary. Back in the days when I heard about all that stuff, I felt bad. I'm like, damn, why Jordan like that? But it makes sense because, like, sometimes, man, when I'm doing stuff, I got to be hard. Like when I'm talking to my kids, I got to be hard on them on certain things.
Yeah.
And because if I'm soft on them, they're not going to do what they're supposed to do. Yeah. So you got to be hard just to make them learn. And then after that, then they learn and they're like, man, I'm happy that you got
me. Later on.
Yeah, you woke me up.
You were like that, right?
Yeah.
And that's what some of the teammates said about Jordan. They said, oh, yeah, he was an asshole,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did this, he did that. But afterwards, later, they realized, that's what it took for them to win championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had to be like that for a good reason. Some people do that for a bad reason, but he did it for a good cause,
Right.
He wanted to win. He said, I gotta do everything I got to get these guys on that same mental level as me.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
So what's that? That is episode 7, man.
Yeah, man. They kicked the Nets' butt, and they was ready to go on to Charlotte, and that's how they ended it up, man, in episode 7. Yo, thanks for watching the Ballers Club Sports Channel, and make sure you subscribe. But don't forget, you want to see that next episode, right? Go ahead and click on it. Or if you want to see something else, man, we got so much other sports things that you can watch. Click on that too. But make sure you like and subscribe. It's important. All right.